I mean, I think that's one of the fascinating things about this whole idea of complex trauma as well, is one of the criteria, subsumed in one of the criteria is minimization. And that's a cognitive distortion. And that you hear these stories that just, it's curling your hair to hear the story, and then the person says, it wasn't so bad. That's just the way it was in my family. So, the perspective that, and especially that a child has on what's happening. I use a term that David Kaloff coined, which is in doing this work, he says you have to meet the child mind, and you have to really come across the child logic and how the child made sense in a childlike way, which is different than adult meaning making, but how a child made sense of it. And, you get very illogical child logic as the way a child comprehends. And usually what a child does is blames themselves and exonerates the parent because, after all, it's my parent and it wasn't so bad anyway. One of the most, I think, extreme but also illustrative examples of all things comes from Marilyn Vanderburgh, the former Miss America, who wrote a book, Day Child, Night Child, and her abuse experience. Her father was a very high-level man in Denver society, a very well-to-do, wealthy, powerful man who abused her at night, and apparently she would stiffen up and hold herself really tight, and he would sort of unlock her and abuse her. And she had that experience at night and would wake up, and she called that the night child, and she would wake up having forgotten or dissociated from the night child, and the day child functioned and had a really good relationship with Dad. And when she became Miss America, which is such an irony, the paradigm of American womanhood, and her father escorted her, that was the day child. And it was only when she was in the safety of her own marital relationship with a safe man that the defenses started to crumble, and what she was up against was extreme body pain and extreme body tightening. And today we are hearing about freezing and conversion symptoms. And it's very much her lead into understanding what happened to her was the body work that she needed to do to unfreeze.